wish more people talked about the fact that so many more people than you think are in credit card debt. You're starting to look at people around you and wondering how the hell they're purchasing luxury cars, going on these lavish vacations, buying luxury items like sunglasses, designer purses, things like that. It's credit cards. They're in credit card debt. Especially the kids that you went to school with and they always had the newest iPhone, the newest clothing, even drove like a luxury car. Their parents are in credit card debt. I just feel like it's not talked about enough and no one is real about it. I consider myself to be a very independent woman. I have a good job. I make a decent living. I've always wondered how the people around me are doing these crazy, lavish, luxury, expensive things and wondering why I can't afford it as someone who also works very hard. It's credit card debt.
Why is it so hard to talk in front of the camera? I don't ever do this, but I am in $120,000 worth of debt. You heard that correctly. But first, if you're new here, let me explain. My name is Kaylin. I've dedicated my page to talk about my debt-free journey, and we're going to get vulnerable. But let me clarify that statement. I used to be in $120,000 worth of debt. I am no longer in that much debt. So what happened? How did we get there? And what do I currently owe combined? I was a part of a lawsuit, Sweet vs. Cardona. You can see the pinned post on my page where a bunch of students got defrauded from a handful of schools. So of that result, $75,000 of student loans was discharged from my credit. So as you can imagine right now, that significantly helped me with my debt-free journey. I only owe $5,000 in student loans, and I plan to pay that off next year. That's not my focus. My focus at this moment is my biggest debt, which is my credit cards, and I don't plan to file bankruptcy. That's not an option. I feel like paying them will help me become financially responsible and literate, and I love my relationships with the credit cards that I have. I have 2 Amexes, 3 with my credit union, and 1 with Apple. Honestly, they're not like little mom and pop starter credit cards. I would have been consolidated them, but that is why I'm not going into bankruptcy or filing bankruptcy, and I don't want that on my credit for 10 years. Despite what the internet says, please do your research. It is not worth it, in my opinion, especially if you can pay it off. So if I had to be honest, like right now, I owe approximately $37,000 in debt. And now I only owe $5,000 in student loans, and it's because I went to a school after the fact and I decided to drop out. Of a result of my discharge, obviously my degree is worthless, which is okay. I'd rather take the discharge. Right now, I used to owe $30,000 in credit cards. I'm down to $26,000, and I plan to pay that off in the next year, hopefully sooner. $7,000 on my car. I don't plan to get a new car. Once I pay this off, baby, we are right into the wheels fall off, okay? I don't plan to get a new car. I think it's just a terrible investment. I didn't really grow up in a home that had a lot of financial literacy, so as I'm learning as an adult, it comes with its pros and its cons. But yeah, I'm curious to know how much debt you are in. Let's make this a safe space. No judgment in the comments. Please do share how much debt you are in total. Do you plan to pay it off? What are your goals at this moment? Bye.
This right here, yeah, that changed my life, because this is so true. People have so much debt you wouldn't even believe. Like when you really start talking to people, they just casually drop, yeah, you know, I owe like 15 grand. Dollars? American? Oh, okay. Okay. Like people really just walk around in massive debt to keep up with this life. And you know what even make it worse is that you really got to sit back sometime and realize your mama was right. You know, whole keeping up with the Joneses thing? Yeah. Because, you know, your mom used to be like, well, if Stacy was going to jump off a bridge, you going to jump too? And my ass, I graduated college. I started living that life. I'm right behind her. I'm right behind her. And I did get me a little debt doing that. But you have to realize that, like, oh my God, I feel like I'm turning into my mom. All that glitters isn't gold. It really ain't. It really, really ain't. It really ain't. People got so much debt they don't know what to do with themselves. Don't fall into that trap. Don't fall into that mindset, because it's so much harder to get out than it is to get in. Oh my gosh, it's like a GPA. It's easier to drop than raise. And a credit score is the same way. But yeah, walking around with massive credit card debt.
My name is Chelsea and I'm in $98,543.58. It was written up there. Let's talk about my debt so maybe you feel a little bit better about yours. When I was 21, I graduated from college and I was in over $150,000 worth of debt. Now 33 and I'm now down to $98,000. I would love to say that that's all just student loan debt, but that is some student loan debt as well as some credit card debt. For a very long time, it was extremely debilitating to be in that much debt. I was super sad about it. I had a very unhealthy relationship with money. But this past year, I've been super motivated to pay it down. And I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about it with other people that may be in the same situation that I'm in. My goal for talking about it is, one, bring awareness that other people are in the same situation as you. And then two, I've seen social media change so many people's lives, so why can't that be me? If I'm being honest, I do want to make some sort of income off of social media, not so much saying a full-time income. I do have a full-time job, but something where I can make maybe a couple of $100 an extra month, put that 100% towards my debt. Also trying to figure out like a different side hustle besides social media. So if you have any ideas, let me know. I've been seeing a ton of the videos of people making like bar carts or flower carts and then like renting them out for like parties and things. And I would love to do that. I just don't even know where to start. If you have any ideas, let me know. So I guess goal number one would be enough followers to be in the TikTok shop affiliate program. I feel like that's a great start. The TikTok shop affiliate program. I feel like that's a great start. My name is Chelsea and I'm in...
Posted that. A few nights ago, I posted that I was $23,000 in credit card debt. I'm a single mom at the age of 24, and my mortgage is $3,100 a month. Now, I just want to do a little quick update. Since then, I have received tremendous love and support from everybody. I honestly feel so blessed, and I feel heard, and I feel like somebody actually took their time to listen to me in a moment where I really felt like I was in a dark place, not gonna lie. It's just me. I'm always on go mode. It's just me. It's just my brain. It's just me constantly thinking. Times I don't eat in the day because I'm just stressed, or I decide not to eat because I'm saving the food just to make sure like my daughter's fed, type of thing. Now I just want to give a little backstory to like 3 or 4 topics of the comments. Now the first one was how $23,000 credit card debt. So I didn't have that much debt up until like last year, to be honest. Obviously when I bought the house, I bought the fridge, I even bought my parents a fridge, TVs, furniture, things like that. So I just put it on the credit card because yeah. And one of the other things is my daughter has autism. My daughter was diagnosed earlier this year with autism level 3, and her therapy services are not cheap, as well as I have to take time off of work to go to her appointments. And there's times that I run out of PTO. So once I run out, I have to dock my pay. Now, what docking my pay means I don't get paid for those hours that I'm gone taking my daughter to therapy. Along with that, it's paying for gas. I mean, I have a car that takes cheap gas, so you know, thankfully for that. But I still have to pump every week, and the deductibles. It's more money taken on my checks, and it is payments that I have to make for her to continue being seen. And not only that, last year whenever me and my daughter's dad separated, I did therapy, and I would pay my therapy services with my credit card, along with paying my water or my electric or just extra bills that I needed to cover for the time being, even just groceries too.
I'm really curious how people are rationalizing living above their means when they know they can't afford it. For example, I know many people who have student debt, credit card debt, whatever it is. They have a job, but like, for example, I know someone who just bought a Range Rover and they're in probably $100,000 of student loans. Like, how are you, I have anxiety for you. How do you do that? Like, how are you justifying that? Why do people live above their means? Like, I grew up in a family where you get a car that is used, and you make sure that it's a good car. Like, I'm not saying buy a crappy one, but get a good car, make sure it gets you from point A to point B, and it's safe and checks the boxes. And then eventually, as you get older, you can justify getting a car because maybe you've bought in a house, you have all of those boxes checked that need to be checked. You're not in credit card debt, you're not in student loan debt. All of those things have been paid off. But my thing is like, I feel like I know so many people who are like, oh, student loans are killing me. But then you just bought a Range Rover. I don't get it. Why would you do that? Why would you buy an $80,000 plus car? I would love to know. Like, I'm actually, like, no, there is judgment. I can't even say there isn't judgment. There is judgment because I genuinely don't get it. But I would love to understand what the thought process is. Because I get anxiety for these people thinking about it. So I'd love to know the realistic realization or whatever, like the realistic reason. Is it because like you want to flex? I don't know. Especially like at 26, sorry, like our lives are so, you know, like we're young still. We're starting our careers. Like a lot of us haven't been in the career that we're in for a while, like maybe 4 years. But I'm like, why? I don't remember someone based on the car they drive. I remember someone based on the type of person they are.